This is another quick short video about alchemy, food chemistry, the alchemists and who they were. Ancient branch of natural philosophy, a philosophical and proto-scientific tradition. Proto-scientific tradition that was historically practiced in China, India, the Muslim world, and Europe. In its Western form, it is attested in the number of pseudographical texts written in Greco-Roman Egypt during the first few centuries. The alchemists attempt to purify, mature, and perfect certain materials. Common aim was chrysopoeia, refers to the artificial production of gold, and this is what they say. Noble metals. They also have noble gases, right? The creation of the elixir of immortality, the great work, the perfection of the human body and soul was thought to result from alchemical magnus opus. There go that symbol again. There go that symbol again. The concept of creating the Philosopher's Stone was variously connected with all these projects. Islamic and European alchemists developed a basic set of laboratory techniques, theories, and terms, some of which are still in use today. However, they did not abandon the ancient belief. Abandon the ancient belief that everything is composed of 4 elements, and that they tended to guard their work in secrecy, often making use of ciphers and cryptic symbolism. In the Europe, 12th century translations of medieval Islamic works of science and the rediscovery of Aristotelian philosophy gave birth to the flourishing tradition of Latin alchemy. The late medieval tradition of alchemy would go on to play a significant role in the development of early modern science, particularly chemistry and medicine. Okay. Modern discussions. Let's see. Practical applications and its esoteric spiritual aspects. Despite criticism by scholars such as Eric J. Homyard and Mary Louise von France that they should be understood as complementary. The former is pursued by historians of the physical sciences who examine the subject in terms of early chemistry, medicine, and charlatanism, and the philosophical religious context in which these events occurred. The latter interests historians of esotericism, psychologists, and some philosophers and spiritualists. The subject has also made an ongoing impact on literature and arts. So, the alchemists were, they said, go back to Egypt and all this stuff, and other trace the roots Egyptian or Fertile water. Okay. Old French. Medieval Latin name given by the Arabic. All I want to talk about is the chemistry part. Chemistry. The ancient branch of philosophical Muslim world. Alchemists, what it said was a proto-scientific tradition, right? Proto-science. We're going to go to food chemistry. Is a study of chemical processes and interactions of all biological and non-biological components of food. The biological substances include such items as meat, poultry, lettuce, beer, and milk as example. Right. Well, we will just really go to chemistry. Let's see. Let's click on food chemistry. Lactic acid, lactose acid, apple, lemon juice. History of food chemistry, scientific, agricultural works of J. Humphrey Davy, published. Course of lectures, Board of Agriculture, 1813, the United Kingdom, which would serve as the foundation for the profession worldwide, going into the 5th edition. Earlier works included that by Carl Wilhelm Schenck, who isolated malic acid from apples in 1785. Now I would like to know the process in which he isolated acid in apples. Some of the findings of food chemistry were translated and published. Here we go. It is also out of the concern of the quality of food supply, mainly food adulterations, food, cosmetic, pharmaceuticals, fuel, or other chemicals that comprise the safety effective. Okay. Issues that would first stem from international contamination to later with chemical food additives by 1950s. The development of college of university worldwide in the United States span food chemistry as well as research into dietary substances. Most notable, the single grain experiment in 1901. Okay. Food chemistry division, food chemistry. Right. Food proteins complex, they also fundamental, consisting mainly of carbon, nitrogen, hydrogen, oxygen, sulfur. They also contain iron, copper, salt. This is what they say, right? This is what they say. And food proteins. Okay, vitamins, minerals, color, food coloring is added. Change the color of any food substance is mainly sensory analysis proposes. It can be used to simulate the natural color of product as perceived by customers, such as red dye, right? I don't think none of this stuff is natural. To catch up to add unnatural colors product, Kellogg Fruit Loops. Caramel is a natural food dye. Industrial form, caramel coloring. Widely used in coloring is found food, soft drinks, sauce, pickles, flavors. Flavors food is important in smell and taste. Consumer analysis occur naturally like salt and sugar, but let's see here. Food additives, uh, emotions, the process of oils, adding vinegar or pickling, adding emulsifiers, mixtures. What is an emulsifier? A mixture of two or more liquids that are normally immiscible owing to liquid phase separation. Emulsions are part of the more general class of two-phase systems of matter called colloids. Although the term colloid and emulsion are sometimes used interchangeably, emulsion is a mixture of two or more liquids that are normally that's what I just class of two phase. Food chemistry, and the reason why I'm saying this or even looking at this stuff, list of Catholic clergy scientists. Copernicus, Albertus Magnus, Roger Bacon. List of alchemists. Albertus Magnus, Roger Bacon. I'm sure these lists line up with more people. Athanasius. List of Catholic clergy scientists, right? See, their mind work in circles. They contain the mind in circles. I don't deal with circles mentally because you will end up mentally going in circles. Right? Circles. Foolishness. Seals and circles. List of alchemists. All these are alchemists, these people. Now, I want to look this up, this word. There's a word I want to put up here. Edible. Something that is suitable or safe to be eaten. Something edible. The definition of edible is something that can be eaten. Now let's go back up. Something that is suitable or safe to be eaten. So now these two different definitions. This one is saying that it's suitable or safe to be eaten, right? the next definition is saying that what the definition of edible is something that can be eaten. That's like tree bark. Tree bark is edible. That don't mean you should be eating tree bark, right? It's edible. I agree with this definition. You can eat it, but that don't mean you should be eating it, right? So now when you go back to, so this right here is a confusion of definitions, right? So now let's go right here to food chemistry. Because there are a lot of things that can be eaten. There's a lot of things that you can put in your mouth and consume and swallow and eat. That doesn't mean that it should be eaten, right? So the alchemist, right? Or alchemy itself was a what? Proto-science, philosophical and proto-science tradition that was practiced in China, India, and the Muslim world and Europe. Alright? In the Western form, it goes to Greco-Roman Egyptian. Alright? So, there are a lot of things that are edible that can be eaten, right? But that don't mean they should be eaten at all. This definition says something that is suitable or safe. That means that they have said that it is safe to be eaten, meaning they have tested it and said that there's no side effects that would harm you, right? So these definitions conflict with each other right here. I can eat tree bark, but that don't mean I should be eating tree bark. Now there's a lot of things that we eat or that are edible in this world that are in stores. But what are the long-term effects? There are a lot of things in this world that are edible. That's all I wanted to say in this video. Alchemy was the proto-science of chemistry, right? Yeah, that's all I really have to say about this medieval forerunner to chemistry, right?